going, buddy?
Woo! Let's go.
First hat trick of his career.
Yeah, he looks good out there. Look good out there tonight.
Too bad that I ruined it with the shutout talk earlier in the game.
How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, no, it's a shame. Shame they couldn't hold on for Demmer there. Hughes might owe a mistake or something after that turnover.
Yeah, definitely.
No, that was a pretty complete game. Where the hell was this team Saturday?
Throwing up in the locker room, I think. That's what I'm just going to continue to tell myself.
I think so. I mean, whatever the message was from Talkit, it was received. Everyone was engaged tonight. There were no passengers. It was a very good game, start to finish. Obviously, Sherwood drove the offense, getting the goals, but every line was generating chances, pushing Colorado back. Demko held us in the second period. Really good things from him tonight. Really solid play. And overall, just happy to get a win and see the boys bounce back and respond after that, let's face it, piss poor effort on Saturday night.
Yeah, going out to a 3-0 lead is what you don't really see from the Canucks. I mean, empty netter. So with the hat trick, Kiefer Sherwood getting that third goal in the empty net, but even having a 2-goal lead going into the third period felt pretty good. Makes it easier for them to build on it in the third period, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And when you're playing that structured game, rolling all four lines, your defense is playing well, keeping all the majority of the dangerous chances to the outside, you can play your style and play your system. And that's what we've seen this game and the game against Florida. And then sandwiched right in the middle is that atrocity against Boston. So good on coaching for giving the message to the players, and good on the players for hearing it and responding.
Yeah, right from the get-go, they started off well. Couple of things that maybe you didn't like: the delay of game penalty by Branstrom with the puck over the glass, the Tyler Myers interference call. Someone said it in chat. It's essentially 2 minutes for being 6'8" on Nathan MacKinnon, but that's two penalties that the refs called in favor of Nathan MacKinnon. Now there's a pattern. Are we looking at maybe Nathan MacKinnon getting some kind of special treatment by the referees?
Well, obviously he comes with the same kind of air of McDavid, those poster boys that are kind of the face of the NHL. I hope it's not that case. But obviously when you see a couple of real soft penalties against the same player in the same game, you kind of scratch your head a little bit. Good on the boys for killing all four power plays off. That was good work. And the delay game, I hate that penalty, man. Like there's got to be some sort of clarification in the rule that the ref should have discrepancy of it, whether or not it's intentional. Because if you're batting it out of the air or you're off balance and you flick it off the toe of your stick, you shouldn't be getting a delay of game penalty. There's no intention to delay the game or stop play. It's just an accident and it happens. And it just frustrates me constantly when it's like that.
The only problem I have with that is giving the ref any ability to make a decision. Right.
Fair enough.
With how off the refs have seemed to be all across the league, not even just with the Canucks games, like from game to game, like who knows what they're going to call, right? So, but I do agree. Yeah. But I mean, I'll remind some of the younger crowd who didn't actually see it, but because back in the day, NHL players would flip the puck clearly out of play when they were under pressure to get a whistle and a face-off. And that's why they brought in the new rule, because people were intentionally flipping it over the boards. So I can see where before it was a huge thing, but now, I mean, you've seen some big plays, and even in playoff games where it just happens to go over. Even Carson Sousa the other night, right? He's batting it out of the air. Yeah. He's not necessarily trying to bat it out of play, but that's what ends up happening. So yeah, it can end up biting you in the butt there.
I think the biggest clarification that needs to be made is it needs to be a puck shot off the ice. It shouldn't be a puck. If the puck is in the air and it gets batted out of the air, that should not be a penalty.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Another
That adds a
game.
little bit of clarification.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, I don't trust the refs. Another game, another Canucks 30 hits.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
put
No, it was
Colorado in their
good.
place.
Yep. Using the physical play to separate them from the puck, generating 22 giveaways from Colorado. And yeah, we did a very good job in the face-off dot to get that back to basically even after being what we were 20% difference in the first period after the first period. So good on Petey and Miller. I think both had really good games in the face-off dot. So
Pedersen coming in with a third star for some reason. So I guess somebody saw
well,
something out there from him. He played a solid game. Didn't end up getting any points, but like you said, had a good night in the face-off circle. Looked
yeah,
really good on the penalty kill.
4 shots on goal, a hit, a blocked shot. Was 64% in the face-off dot. So overall, I mean, when all the offense is coming from one guy, you got to look into the game for some other performances, and PD did have a good game overall. Obviously, you hope for him to get some points in a game like this, but given that the last 2 games he was struggling to even get a shot on net, this is definitely a bounce back effort for him.
Yeah. Thatcher Demko coming in as a third star with the 9.68 save percentage and a 1 goal against average. And then obviously Chief Keef taking the first star with 3 goals, his first career hat trick. Do we just feel so bad for Nashville every time we see how good this guy is playing for us, or are we just laughing and thumbing our noses at them?
Well, I mean, it's not just one guy either. It's Sherwood and Lankinen
Yeah.
both. So I mean, pretty curious to see what Sherwood's next contract will look like, but definitely not going to be as cheap as $1.5 million.
No, he's due for a payday. Canucks signed him to a 1 year or 2 year?
I believe he is 2-year.
Yeah, so we don't have to deal with that until at least the next season.
Yeah.
And you got to think you're feeling good, despite the fact that he didn't end up getting that shutout. Thatcher Demko did look really solid tonight. Good rebound control when there was rebounds, and most of the time there really wasn't because he was doing the whole thing and keeping that puck in his gear for the most part.
Sorry, what was that again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, facing 31 shots and facing a team that has those kind of tools, Makar, McKinnon, Ratnan, right, Nishushkin's back, and managing to keep them to 1 goal, you got to think that really boosts his confidence as well.
Yep, absolutely. Stopping 30 of 31 is a good night for any goalie.
Moving forward, the Canucks, what are we expecting from them? Because Saturday they looked like terrible, and then today they look like they can play with anyone. So who are the Canucks?
Well, I mean, they got 2 road games coming up, so there should be a winning streak here.
Should be easy, right?
You know what? The Canucks haven't had a chance all season to find their identity. Um, and I kind of touched on it after last game that it didn't feel like there was emotion in the game, and that we were lacking in identity. And Talkett kind of echoed what I had said in his post game with the 4 or 5 passengers not being up for the game and being ready to play. And tonight I saw a completely different team that came out like a rocket. Everyone was moving their feet and ready to go, and lo and behold, they were able to generate a win. As we're healthier and get to the point where we know exactly where everyone is going to be in the lineup, the chemistry is going to get better, and the locker room issues should iron themselves out. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about winning, and hopefully this team that we saw tonight is the team that we truly thought we had and all along. Um, this is who we need to be night in and night out, and we can't take any games off. The league is too close in parity. Any given night, any team can beat you, any goalie can beat you, so you have to be on your A game every night. And so it's good to see the boys take that to heart and really come out and perform against a tough opponent in Colorado.
Now I have to ask you, that hat that you're wearing right there, did you throw it onto like the surface, or like did it leave your head when you got the hat trick, or?
Absolutely, you got to toss the bucket. And I respect if people don't do it and they have an attachment to a hat or too expensive for them to have a hat. But when you're in the building and you witness a hat trick, you may never know when you might see something like that again. So for me, as a diehard hockey fan, I would absolutely be throwing whatever hat is on my head that day.
As a young Canucks fan going to games with my dad, I would literally bring an extra hat to specifically throw on the ice. So I mean, I don't know if that's cheating or not. I might have been cheating, but I actually had an old hat I would have attached to my hip just in case I needed to throw something on the ice. So,
Hey, that's just good preparation. That's all that is.
I was a Boy
That's
Scout.
called having a positive
Yeah.
attitude and thinking that there's going to be a hat trick every time you go. And so, you know what? I like it. It's manifestation.
Always be prepared.
Question is, did you ever get to throw the hat?
I don't think so.
Well, that's now a sad story.
I mean, that was also during the Messier era, so there wasn't a lot of winning happening or a lot of hat tricks happening that time.
Oh, that story got even worse.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Abbey Canucks, because we didn't quite get to it in the Rusty and Dusty sideshow. We haven't talked about the game on Sunday, the second game against the Manitoba Moose. Can you give us an update as to what happened for the baby Canucks?
That was another wonderful 4-0 win. They extended the winning streak to 4 in a row with a second straight shutout effort by Nikita Tolopilo, stopping 27 shots on the way to the 4-0 victory. He is the first Abbey Canuck goalie to record back-to-back shutouts. So over the weekend, he faced 42 shots and turned them all aside. But back to the game on Sunday, it was pretty much all Abbotsford when it came to offense. We had kind of spread all around the board. Dino Cambites in the first period, getting his 5th of the year. Christian Wolanin getting his 2nd of the year on the power play, similar to the first goal he got of the year in the game before. Chase Waters, the captain, shorthanded, scored our 3rd goal. And then we had Atu Ratu rounding out the scoring in the 3rd period, getting his 4th of the season in the AHL. So just a very solid weekend all around, and homestand so far. The defense looks very good. The structure is great down there. They're starting to figure it out. Mal Holtra has these guys working very hard as a group, and it's fun hockey to watch. If you haven't been watching the Abbotsford Canucks, or you haven't had a chance to get out to watch a game, I recommend going and seeing them, because they are starting to get it figured out, and they have a lot of young talent in the offense, and a lot of prospects that we'll be seeing in the very near future here with the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big reason too why I like to keep everyone updated on what they're doing down there, because 1, it's fun because they actually have a really fun team down there, and 2, it's a lot of guys that we're going to be seeing, and we want to keep up to date on them, and not just on like a month-to-month basis. When there's a slow day for the Vancouver Canucks, we want to get up to date on a regular basis so you can get a full picture of how these prospects are developing down there.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Canucks next. The Abbey Canucks next game is Friday, December the 20th at 6 p.m. against the Tucson Roadrunners.
Yes.
And then another game the next day, Saturday at 2 p.m. at 3. So they are doing this again. The AHL is wild. They play at 6 p.m. on Friday and then 2 p.m. as an afternoon game on Saturday. So we're hoping that they get some Like we can't see Toapio playing both those games again, would we?
No, I don't see that happening. I would imagine Lankinen would be feeling better by then, and we'd see Shelov's getting one of those starts.
Tucson Roadrunners, what can we expect from them?
The Tucson Roadrunners, let's have a look here. Which division? They're not doing too bad to the season. They're 13-10. Um, we are starting to get on a roll here, so I'd expect a nice even game. I don't know if we've met them recently.
I feel like we played them early on in the season.
We played them very early, yes, in October, and we did a split with them, and it was in our October of 500 hockey, right? So we were winning one, losing one, winning one, losing one, and that's pretty common for the AHL because everyone's kind of trying to find their footing. Everyone's still going up and down with the preseason of the NHL and the NHL trying to figure out their teams. So everything's all a mess. So I would expect a good hockey game, and hopefully we can keep this winning streak going at home. Of note, though, the Saturday game at 2 p.m. If you're looking to take your families out for a fun afternoon, it is Ugly Christmas Sweater Night. So that's a fun little family event that they have going for that day. I'm sure they'll have little extra stuff going on. And yeah, they have a great atmosphere, and I recommend going and checking them out.
Cool. Vancouver Canucks, the big club, play again on Wednesday in Utah. First game ever against Utah, and first game in Utah. What are you expecting from that game? Because Utah has obviously had a pretty rough start to their existence down there in Mormon City.
Yeah, they've had a rough start, but they similar record to us. Few games above 500. And they're starting to figure it out. They've had a couple of wins here recently. I don't know. We'll have to see. We haven't matched up against them this year, so it'd be interesting to see what they bring to the table. They do have some good young forwards in Clayton Keller and Lawson Krause and Logan Cooley. So definitely can't sit back because they bring some speed, and we'll have to just play the way we played tonight and get a good lead, play our structure, and keep everything to the outside, and we'll be just fine.
Yeah, we're playing on the road, so it should be fine.
I mean, exactly. We get down 1-0, go into the first intermission, say, "Hey, we got them right where we want them because we're on the road," and bingo, bango, bongo, we get a dub.
Yeah, awesome, perfect. Thank you, Dustin, for stopping by for the post game show, and we'll chat again on Wednesday.
Absolutely. We will see you then.
Nothing is perfect.